Welcome viewer, welcome to your favorite educational channel Experience Learning. Last day we have started a series of lectures on Java, and today I am going to discuss about the hands-on programming and simple programming will be discussed here, how you can write the code, and this is basically beneficial for the students who have just started to learn Java. You can learn it from scratch, and also this is beneficial for the students of BTech, BCA, MCA, BTech IT, computer science, electrical, whatever. Basically for the IT aspirants, this is very beneficial. Okay, let's start. Just one thing before going to start it, I just request you please subscribe the channel. Actually, your subscription motivate me. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm starting to write the code. Here I'm using Notepad++ for writing the code, just for taking it as editor. And okay, now say I'm just writing class test. I've given a name, class test, simple name. Okay, always remember one thing, by convention when a class name will be given, the class name will be given with capital letter. And if the class name is like say test first program or test program, so case, you can use a camel case. Test first will be caps, and if you want to write the name as, you can write it in this way, camel case. Okay, okay. Then I'm just writing public static void main. We have already discussed about that, why it is public, why it is static, why these are, and void main. And then I am passing string args. You can here write your own name also in this args. I've already discussed in the first lecture. You can see it. So as it is a block structure, so now we are going to write it within this main. So I just want to print a simple message like system dot out dot print. Okay, okay, and here I'm writing and I'm going to save it as here I have created a folder Java prog. So here I'm giving the name test prog dot java. Okay, I've written it in this way. Java is already given. You can give the name this way also, or just Java prog. Okay. Uh, okay, so in command prompt, as this is saved in D drive, so I have changed it, and then in Java prog, the file is saved. Now, going to compile this one. Going to compile the code. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm writing Java C. Java C. The name of the file, you know that, test dot java. Now it's being compiled. Okay, after compilation, how can I run it? Java test Okay, just before going to write it, I would like to show you one thing. That, in Java program, you can see that a test file is created. Can you see this? Can you see? This is the program. This is the program, the Java file, .java file. And here after compilation, the class file is created. Testprog, the class file is created. Now we have to run it using this class file. Okay. Okay, fine. Java. So the class file name is Java prog. So I'm just writing Java test prog. Let's check. See, the message is printed. Okay. Now to one thing. Here I have changing. Here I am changing the name of it. So I am just writing test. Now check. And here I am writing Java C test dot. The file name is testprog dot Java. I have just changed the file, the class name. The class name is now class test, and here I am going to write the Java C, then the file name, and the file name is testprog.java. Okay. So now it's the compilation is done. Check here again. So again we are getting the class file as testprog.class. Okay. Now okay, so changing the class file, I am not able to understand why it is not reflected here. Is it not? Is it saved properly or not? Sorry. Probably I have forgotten to save it. Sorry. Okay, check it. Java C. Okay, now check. So, what is the class file name? Test.class. Another class file is created, test.class, and for you can understand it. I'm just writing it in this way. Java first pro. Okay, just making you understand. I have just written the in class test. When I'm giving the class test, I've just changed the message. Nothing else. Okay, save. Now I'm going to compile it. Okay, now Java test. What can you get? That Java first pro. And if I am writing Java test pro, what I am getting? Java. So the class file, the dot class file, this is basically the bytecode. It will be created, and the name of it is based on the class name. But remember one thing, if you are making it public, say I am making the class public, that time, okay, let's see what will happen. If you are making it public, and now let's check. So it has been compiled properly, and if I am writing Java test, let's see what happened. So already the class file has been created actually, so we are not able to, oh sorry again, say, I think I have forgotten to save it. Making it public, yeah, making it public, and the class name is given as test. So what you can see here, please see it. So there is an error. Class test is public. So what is the error? Read this error properly. What is the error? Here the error is class test is public should be declared in file name test.java public class test. What happened here? If you are making the class public, that time the file name and the class name should be same. Otherwise there will be a error like this. So now if you are writing test p, I'm just giving test p and I'm making it save as test p. Okay, I'm going to save it as test p. Now let's check. I just change this name because another class file will be created, and you can change the message also here so that you can understand it properly. Second, I have to save it. Most of the time I have forgotten to save it. Okay, okay, now let's check. Java C test p.java. What happened? Let's check. So here this is compiled perfectly, and here another class file is created test p. Can you see this? A test p class file is created. So whenever you are making the class as public, you have to give the class name which will be same as the file name. Otherwise you can give any name to the file. Okay, if you are not going to make it public, you can give any name. You can already, I have already discussed about it. But if you are making it public, that time the file name and class name should be same. Okay, now I'm just going to run it. Java test p. Now check. We're getting the result. Java second program. Okay, now I would like to take the input from the command line. Okay, so here I am going to write it in this way. Third, and how can you take the argument? You can take the argument using the, here we know that the ArgS is basically the string of objects, array of objects. Which type of object? String type of object. And it is which class file will be created. So when you are going to run it, Java, the class file name, after that everything will be treated as the argument. So and its indexing will be started from 0. Okay, let's check. If you want to change the name, okay, don't be confused about it. Here I am writing PIC. Okay. If you want to change the name, you can also change it. PIC 0. Okay. Here I have written PIC 0. You can write another also. PIC 1. Okay, instead of print, you can also use println also. Println means we'll go to the next line. You can see here the difference between print and println. Here in case of first line I have used print, and for the second and third I have used the println method. Okay, check. Let me first save it. Okay. Compiling. After compilation, here I am going to run the code. Test P, and I am giving two arguments. Here I am giving AB and CD. Now check. For the first line, you can see that it's showing that Java third prog AB. The AB is printed in the same line, and as you have used the ln for the second line for peak 0 for the second line, so the CD is printed in the next line. I think you can understand the difference between print and println. Okay, now okay, I'm writing this in this way. Okay, now I'm going to write it as PIC 0 plus PIC 1. I'm giving this one. What happened? Let's check. Have I saved it now? Probably. A, B, C, D. Let's check what happened. So now AB and CD is concatenated. You can see that AB and CD is concatenated here. Now if I am giving the value like say 12, 56. So you can see here, and 12 and 56 also giving you the result 12, 56, 1, 2, 5, 6 in this way. So from this you can understand everything which will be taken, these are considered as string. Everything. Everything. If you are giving some number, if you are giving some character, floating point number, whatever you are giving here, that will be considered as string. Now you can have a question that is it not possible to give the integer here and we can interpret it as integer? Of course we can. So we will see it in next video. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and comment.